In part 1 of my Erie Steelhead adventure, I dealt with some of the most miserable conditions imaginable for fly fishing. A whiteout lake effect snowstorm, 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and high temperatures only making it into the teens with wind chills well below zero. Trust me, it's not something I'd recommend. But believe it or not, I learned that the worst part of fishing these creeks came in the day or two following those conditions. Because although warmer weather made it more comfortable for me, the damage had already been done. Welcome back to another video. Alright guys, so I'm at this tiny little creek that runs through town that supposedly has some steelhead in it. I actually blue lined this using trout routes. But I'm kind of going to walk down to this wall real quick and look. And I'm kind of just looking to see if I see any steelhead, like spook them or anything. Because, I don't know, steelhead, like many fish that run up creeks and streams, if they're not in there, they're not in there, and you kind of just got to move on. But I thought that this would be a kind of a unique creek to fish if I can find any fish. So far I don't see anything, but what does that even mean? Water's not really moving here either. Not that that means you can't catch steelhead, but it doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Well guys, I found a gigantic culvert hole spot, and although I know nothing about this creek and I know very little about steelhead, I would say this is the type of stuff that I'm looking for here. There's also trails down to it, which is always a good thing, although it doesn't look like anybody's been here in a while. So my plan is to just chuck in there, let it go down, see if anything eats it. There's supposedly steelhead in this creek, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm already about over it. I may go fish that creek that I fished yesterday and caught that fish out of, and then try another couple creeks up in that area, just see how that's fishing, and then go from there. Because I don't know, there's a bunch of steelhead in there. I know where they were because I was in there yesterday. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna stop wasting my time here. Not that I'm wasting time, but I don't necessarily want to figure something out when I kind of already had something figured out. So I'm gonna go to that other creek and see if I can't catch a fish in it. All right guys, so I'm back at the same spot that I fished yesterday and caught that fish, but I've got here to the hole that I fished yesterday and was fishing it, sight fishing for some steelhead, and it's pretty well completely frozen over. So I don't know if I'm even gonna find open water to fish on this creek today, even though it is like a solid, legitimately almost 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. I think right now it's like 24, 25 degrees, and yesterday it was like 14 degrees, 15 degrees. But nonetheless, it has frozen up, and I'm gonna try to walk up this creek and fish it, but I might end up jumping creeks quite a bit today, and just looking for water that's fishable. That's pretty much my only goal. So, and to catch a fish, obviously. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and start fishing, hopefully find some fish for you guys. Breaking ice. Ugh. Trying to get up to the edge of this bridge. My gosh. All right guys, so this is where I caught my first ever steelhead yesterday. And I don't, like, honestly, don't really see anything. If I'm being honest, like yesterday there were multiple steelhead sitting right here. And I basically cast it until one of them ate. don't really see anything right now. Unless that's one in the back on that far side, but I don't think it is. Yeah, this is where the steelhead were yesterday. They ain't here now. Might mean they're just up a little further. They're somewhere up in here in the next stretch or two. I know that much. It's fine. You just keep fishing until you figure out where they are and what they're doing. One thing that started to become clear is that there appeared to be a lot less steelhead in the creek than the day prior. And although it's possible the fish had left and gone back out to the lake, I knew that that wasn't likely. So the only other option was that the new ice that had formed the night prior had given the fish more cover, and that they just weren't sitting out in the runs like they had been. So I decided to start focusing on the ice shelves. It's going to be hard to get it down to where I see a fish, guys. It's going to be nearly impossible to get it down to where that fish is, I think. Just with how fast the water's moving and stuff. Oh my gosh! I got one. I was pulling up to recast. He ate the mop fly. Not a very big one. Huh. Oh! My net's frozen solid. Chill, chill, chill. I didn't even see you, buddy. There's a much bigger fish in there. Get the net supple enough to even get a fish in it. Come on, buddy. Come back to me. Come here. Come here. There we go. First steelhead of the day. Took me much less time today than it did last time. Yesterday, I mean. He ate the mop fly. You guys can see that. Here, I'll take off these gloves so I don't get them soaking wet. But he ate the mop. Chill, buddy. It's a pretty fish. He's not a big one, but he's pretty. Chill, friend. Look at that mop right in the corner of the mouth. Ew! That's a pretty chrome fish. There's bigger fish in here. They're underneath that ice sheet. I'm gonna keep fishing it, but I'll get a picture of this guy just because, I don't know, I haven't been catching many fish, so when I catch one, I should be happy about it and keep fishing. I fiddled around a little longer in that spot before I decided to try another creek that I hadn't been to yet. I'd love to say that I slayed out at the other creek, but, well, just take a look at it. Oh gosh, man, dude, it's so slick. I'm hoping there's gonna be some fish up in here. This spot looks good enough for a fish or two. It's also like kind of a barrier, similarly to that fish, only other fish I caught today. So, like maybe, although this is kind of a flat rock here and I don't see any steelhead, so my guess is the steelhead are going to be sitting off that ice sheet on the other side. Yeah, I don't know. I have already caught a steelhead, so I'm happy about that, but what I'm not happy about is the complete, like the amount of ice that I'm seeing. So anyways, I think I'm gonna bail for now. Because I don't see any steel. I mean, this is a flat rock. I could see a steelhead if it was sitting here. Now, granted, they could just be sitting underneath these ice shelves. But I mean, even if it is, what am I supposed to do about it, you know? So I'm gonna get out of here, I think. At least that's gonna be my goal. So after I left that stream, I full sent it back to another creek I'd seen fish at the day prior. The drive was a little long, but I felt it might be worth it because at least I knew for a fact there were steelhead in the creek. Well guys, there's more ice than there was yesterday. Matter of fact, I think I could probably walk across this entire hole now. I saw a huge steelhead right here yesterday. but it's kind of irrelevant. I'll still take a quick peek here. Just see if I see anything, but not that I could get a cast in here anyways. There might be a steelhead there, is there? Looks like the water's kind of a little bit muddier than it was, dirtier than it was yesterday. All right. Well, this is going well. Psych. So now I think you're starting to see what I mean when I said the damage had already been done at the beginning of this video. Because of that brutally cold weather and the snow from the previous day or so, the creeks have started to lock up with ice, making fishing impossible. There's nothing more frustrating than trying to time a cast with the slush coming down the creek just so your flies can even get down to the steelhead, which is what you're watching me attempt to do right now. To make a long story short, I didn't catch any fish the rest of the day, which meant I only had another half day to make something happen before I had to head home. Alright guys, so I'm back at the same creek I was the other day. Looks like someone else fished this yesterday evening, because you can see all the footprints around here. So that's interesting, because I haven't seen a single other person fishing for at all, period, actually. And now it looks like someone else fished this. It's fine with me, it doesn't matter. I'm definitely the first person here this morning though, so that's good. Looks like they fished it right before dark yesterday, honestly. I'm surprised I don't see any steelhead here. Maybe they moved up. Anyways, yeah, same creek. I'm just gonna try it out. I'm not expecting too much, but it's the only place that I've actually caught fish at. So I'm gonna keep trying it, mess around, see if I can't find some steelhead, and get out of here, because I don't have too much time to fish today, so we'll see. All right guys, so I've spotted a fish or two. They're sitting like underneath this ice right off this edge here. And I'm kind of just trying to leave it there and see if I can see those fish come out. Because they're kind of just making random circles that I don't quite understand. I don't want to move, because where I'm at is close to probably where the fish are. What I'm going to do is just leave it right in front of its face, if I can find the fish, and hope that it just eats it out of like just an opportunistic eat. Not seeing the fish in a second though. So here's the problem that I've figured out, is it's not that the ice is necessarily making it unfishable, although there is quite a bit of slush in the creek, but it's that the fish are relating to the ice as cover, almost like, you know, like fish, trout, or steelhead sit underneath logs and stuff as cover. Well, these fish are doing the same thing, but with ice, which has been a huge, massive problem, because it's like, if they're sitting underneath the ice, you can't hardly fish for them, man. You just can't. They have to be sitting out to some degree. And they don't seem to want to eat flies that are drifted close to the ice either, at least not that I've seen. Which is making catching fish, like, I know there's fish underneath this ice sheet directly in front of me, but it's like, so what, kind of. I might just move on. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about fish that are doing that, man. I just don't understand, like, what is expected of me in this situation. I don't know that anything's expected of me, to be honest with you. So, hilariously, this hole looks completely different than it did yesterday. Of course, because of the ice. So, I don't know. I'm not super confident that I'm going to see anything or catch anything or whatever, but I'll try. up? Guys, there's a fish underneath my feet. You see, that's its head right there. I wonder if he'll eat this if I just drop it in front of him. What is it doing here? That is so funny. Oh, he looked at my fly. If I catch this fish, I will forever laugh. I don't know why sometimes it sinks down and sometimes it doesn't. Something weird with the current right here. I'm gonna try a different fly. I could almost pick this fish up. I'm not going to, but probably could. I don't know how I've gotten myself into this position. Switch flies. I'm gonna put on something heavier so I can just stick it in front of the fish's face and see if he eats. I don't exactly know what people's thoughts are on doing this, but honestly, I don't care. If I have to hand line a stupid fish in right now, I will do it in a heartbeat. I'm not going to snag it, obviously. I'm going to try to make it eat it, but I am in a very unusual position to be able to quite literally jig a fly in front of a steelhead's face. See how it reacts to it. I'm going to use my hand again because I don't know what else to do. It's a freaking big fish too, is the hilarious thing. It's so funny, they're so lazy. Like, these steelhead are legitimately, like, they don't want anything to do with anything. I mean, here's his head still. I highly doubt he eats anything, only because I'm sure he knows I'm here, but we're trying it for a second. I just saw him eat something else, it looked like. Brother, just take a little nibble. So yeah, that's among the dumbest things I've done while fly fishing. Obviously that fish was never going to eat, but I had to try. I mean, how often do you even find yourself in that situation? And in my instance, I hadn't seen many steelhead that morning, so even seeing one I could put a fly in front of was exciting to me. But unfortunately, it never ate, and I was forced to move on. And I know this may shock you, but I never did catch another fish. There was just too much ice for the steelhead to sit under, and the creeks were rapidly locking up entirely. I did drive by a few other streams, but it was all pointless. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know there weren't many fish catches, but that's real life. Not every trip can end with a trophy. Having said that, I had a blast, and I'm already planning another trip to Erie in a few months. So stay tuned if you enjoyed these videos, because there's more to come. Thanks for watching.